Captain. We're getting a little tired of being hauled down here for questions. What have you cops got against Jeff and me? Would you spell it out, please, for once, loud and clear?
Sure. You're a couple of crooks. You're using a private detective license to fleece people. You're no different than any other kind of hoodlums.
You could be sued for that, Captain.
Then sue me.
Maybe we've cut a couple of corners real tight, but we operate a legitimate detective agency.
Get off my desk.
We want to get along with the police department. No reason why we can't scratch backs from time to time.
Sam, can't you see he doesn't want to play it that way? We've been stealing half his headlines. We make out where the police miss out.
Anytime you make out, you work on both sides of the fence.
Can you prove that, Lieutenant?
If we could prove it, you'd both be behind bars.
Now, let me tell you something, Hendricks. If you want to go to the board and ask them to revoke our license, go ahead. You've tried it before, and it got you no place. But don't bring us down here for any more of your informal talks. If you want to see us, make an arrest, and we'll come down with our lawyers.
Get out.
What did you say?
Get out before I throw you out.
Why, Jeff, I think the lieutenant's feelings are...
Come on, son.
See you, fellas.
Don't let it give you ulcers, man.
I'd give a month's pay to net those guys.
You may not have to. Headquarters is bringing in an undercover officer from another city.
Undercover man?
These chiselers know every officer on our police force. The only way to nail them is with an outside typeroper.
These guys also know every dirty trick in the book.
From what I've heard about this undercover man, I think we can be optimistic and keep a couple of cells ready.
On misery and heartache, on people who are in trouble. Geely and Stewart's operation was drenched in filth, but they were smart. They'd been getting away with it for a long time and laughing in the faces of the police.
Mr. Harrison, message for Mr. Harrison?
Yes?
Oh, are you Mr. Harrison?
That's right.
I have a message for you, sir. The man sitting behind you is Sam Keeley, a private detective. He's here to identify the lady you're waiting for as evidence in a lawsuit against you. He's been following you for the last 3 days.
Where did you get that?
I don't think I'm supposed to tell.
Listen, kid.
That night, the other crooked private eye was doing a good job of casing a couple who were getting progressively chummy. When Stewart swung around to face them, I knew it was a move of a man with a concealed camera. When he started to adjust one of his socks, I knew where the camera was. Sorry. I've seen guys with a glass jaw, but a glass shin. You never know. Yeah, I tried that, but I drew a blank.
What? No, I've been all over it. Well, look, if you hear of anything, let me know. All right. I can't get a line on this guy who busted the camera. He's got to be the same one who pulled that stunt on you in the hotel lobby.
Forget him. We're in Clover. I got the Wilson case tied up in a pink ribbon. All the evidence we need right here in this baby. I had the microphone planted in the hotel room the entire weekend.
Great. For this kind of information, we'll double the price.
This could be dynamite. If it's what I think it is, we'll sell half the tape to him for double the price, and the other half to the guy who's suing him for even more.
I'm glad I thought of it. Come on, play it.
And now for an important message from the sponsor.
It's that guy's voice.
What?
Are you in need of a private detective, a discreet investigator of very personal affairs, contact Dan Stone, temporarily located at the Southern Stratford Hotel.
Shut it off. Or maybe you'd rather talk to him right now.
Just what are you trying to swing?
Who are you, wise guy? No, take it easy, one at a time. I'm here real friendly-like. Just looking for a soft spot. Now, you boys have a real nice racket going for you. So I thought I'd muscle in. Well, how do you like that? I figured I'd make myself a nuisance until you boys were ready to talk business.
Get this joker. Walks in here hat in hand, smile on his face, and wants to be a partner.
You know what we're going to do with you, boy? We're going to put your hat on your head and throw you down a long flight of stairs.
You were saying? Well, I guess maybe you fellas haven't had enough. So, we'll just keep playing, huh?
I just can't understand it. What could have happened to her? How can my wife just disappear?
Like my partner says, we'll find her, Doctor. You can be sure of that.
Sometimes I wonder if I should have gone to the police.
Well, the newspapers would learn about it the minute you made the report. You said yourself you can't afford a scandal because of your position at the clinic.
I hate to say this, Doctor, but in most of these cases, there's usually another man involved.
Oh, I just don't believe my wife would do anything like that. You will go on looking for her, won't you?
Of course we will.
Oh, Doctor, I'm sorry to bring this up, but it's been 2 weeks since your last payment, and we have incurred expenses.
Of course. I'm so sorry. Will $500 be sufficient?
Well, credit it to your account.
If you find out anything, any leads you may come across, please let me know.
Of course we will. Thank you.
Please, you must find her for me.
Doctor, just try to be patient.
I wonder what that sucker would pay if he knew we already found his wife.
You say you're an associate of Mr. Keeley and Mr. Stewart.
Yes, they assigned me to the case. They consider it quite special.
I'm glad, Mr.
Stone, Dan Stone. There are a few details I'd like to acquaint myself with, Doctor.
Of course. Tell me, Mr. Stone, is there any news of my wife at all?
I'll call the office.
Yeah?
This is Dan Stone. I'm calling from Dr. Stevens' office. He'd like to know if there's any news about his wife.
What?
What?
What? It's Stone. He's calling from Dr. Stevens' office.
Well, get him out of there. Do something. Promise him anything.
Listen, Stone, you got yourself a deal. Just get out of there. We'll call you at your hotel. Which one is it?
The Southern Stratford. Yes, I'll hurry there immediately. Oh, I'm sure Dr. Stevens will understand.
Just you get out of there without another word. And fast.
We've got to fix this boy. We've got to fix him good.
Does she smile at all the boys like that? Never saw her before. Maybe she's waiting for somebody. I think she's waiting for me. Take my drink over, huh? Bartender, leave the drink here. I thought you fellas left town.
Real funny. Where you from, Joker?
Chicago.
Why did you leave?
The heat.
The weather is hotter down here.
The heat was on me, not around me.
You made your point. We want you out of our hair, so we're going to pay you off. Then you blow town.
$1,000.
Well, business must be good.
Delivered.
Thanks, fellas.
Now, when are you leaving town?
In about 5 years, and you can drop one of these off here every week with a bartender.
Oh, you nervy.
Not here, Sam.
That's right, not here, Sam. Private detectives don't go around beating up people, do they? Do they?
Come on, let's get out of here, Sam.
What about the $1,000 we gave you? It'll just about cover the funeral. Don't forget, the body has to be shipped back to Chicago.
Oh, you really scare me. You really do.
Come on.
You moving to the table? No. Out of the mood. Are they still using that one?
Well, I think it's kind of ladylike, don't you?
Your handkerchief, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. You know, I declare you don't look like the kind of fella that gets into barroom fights.
Now, where else would a healthy boy get his exercise?
Well,
May I presume to offer my company and buy you a drink?
sir, are you trying to pick me up?
Uh-huh.
Well, I thought you'd never get around to it.
Living in a hotel just doesn't seem to be your style. Say, that's kind of an oldie, too, isn't it?
Well, I got a whole new gimmick to go with it.
Oh?
Yeah, you see, I don't live here. You do.
In this hotel?
In this hotel, in this room.
Oh, I think I'm beginning to get it. I'm registered downstairs.
My friends took care of that for you.
Yeah, that would be the crooked private eyes.
Of course. They paid the desk clerk some money downstairs, and he's going to swear that you took the room for the night.
Oh, I get it. You scream, the police come, you swear I forced you in here, and I go to jail.
Oh. That's right.
Oh, that's a nice frame. These boys, they're pretty handy at this sort of thing, aren't they?
The best. What are you doing?
Oh, just a little music to be framed by.
What's going on?
Well, I just set the place on fire. Now we can both scream.
Oh, you put that fire out!
Honey, the fire equipment's in the hall.
Well, here! Now, hurry up! Oh. Well, do something quick!
Here, you handle it.
Ah!
Read the instructions. Well, if it isn't the first team. We'll make a deal.
What's the use of just fighting?
Oh, I wasn't just fighting, I was winning.
The fight wasn't over, friend.
True. If you're thinking about money.
Oh, I think about it all the time.
And we've got something coming up that's going... A pigeon to be plucked. This, Dr. Stevens, who hired us to find his wife.
Sounds like routine.
Only, we already found her.
Well, you boys may be smarter than you look.
You, just hit us during our busy season. If we had more time on our hands, the chances are you'd be dead.
Instead, I'm a full partner.
Okay?
Full partner. To a happy, prosperous partnership. Healy and Stewart drove me to Dr. Stevens' hospital. They also brought along a character they called the Gunbird. He looked like something out of a comic book. But that gun he packed under his coat wasn't for laughs.
We'll set up a date with the wife. Meanwhile, you know what to do. Now go to work, both of you.
Both of us? Why him?
Because the Gunbird's got to fly right along with you.
How come?
Just to make sure you don't steal the story.
Healy and Stewart were determined to squeeze Dr. Stevens dry. As a new member of the firm, my job was to set the doctor up. And I had no chance to tell him what was going on, with the Gunbird breathing down my neck. I'd found out that Dr. Stevens was one of the better citizens. He had given up an expensive private practice to help children who couldn't have afforded him. It's always the good ones who get hurt.
Mr. Stone, what have you learned about my wife?
I don't know if you're going to like it, Doctor.
You found her.
No, not yet, but we've got a lead.
A lead? Well, what is it?
We've learned that there was something in your wife's background, something hidden. It seems she was approached by a blackmailer.
A blackmailer?
Yes. And rather than hurt you or your reputation, she ran away.
love my wife very much. I must have her back. I don't care about her past, whatever it was.
And the blackmailer?
I'll pay him. Whatever it takes, I'll pay him.
We'll see what we can do, Doctor.
Mr. Stone, find my wife. Tell her I don't want to know her secret. I love her, that's enough.
Gillian Stewart had found Mrs. Stevens working in a roadhouse across the state line. If I had picked the wrongest woman for the doctor to marry, it would have been Helen Stevens. But I didn't pick her. The doctor did.
Back again?
Now, be nice to the customers, honey. Mrs. Stevens, Dan Stone.
You can drop that, Mrs. Stevens. It's a drag.
Your husband wants you back.
Wouldn't you?
Helen's not going back there.
That's right. Say, did you tell that square where I am?
Now, what kind of good business would that be?
Well, no, I don't know. What kind of business are you in?
What do you care? As long as you get $10,000?
$10,000?
Cold cash, tax-free.
What do I have to do for it?
Nothing strenuous.
When do I have to do it?
We'll let you know that, too.
Why don't you leave him here for security?
Yours or mine?
You're going to be a big help to the firm, lad.
So is she.
You were saying about the blackmailer.
We made a deal. He agreed to furnish all the letters, but his price is pretty stiff.
I don't care. I'll pay it. I've got to get my wife back.
$50,000?
$50,000? I've got to get her back.
You'd pay it?
I don't have it, but I can raise it. I'll mortgage the clinic building.
But you might lose it.
I don't know what else to do. You know, Mr. Stone, this has been a lifelong dream of mine to one day be able to give up private practice and devote all my time to children, crippled children, whose families couldn't give them the care they needed.
I'm sorry, Doctor.
Thank you. Well, I'll go to the bank right away and arrange about the mortgage. They know me there. They'll give me the money immediately.
No, don't do that until we let you know. We haven't worked out the final details.
Whatever you say, Mr. Stone. I'll await your call.
It was just as well that the gunbird was close, because I could hardly keep from telling the doctor what they were doing to him. But I had to keep quiet for the bigger stake. I wanted to put those parasites behind bars where they belonged. But if I made a slip on the tightrope, I could end up with a head full of slugs. And the gunbird was just the boy to do it.
The doc didn't try to negotiate. Cut the price any?
Well, I don't think he's had much experience in this sort of thing.
But he'll be a real pro before we finish with him.
You got a date with the wife. She goes for you, lover boy, so it's up to you to convince her. Without her, we've got empty pockets.
Don't you worry about the wife. She'll convince. There's just enough larceny in those big blue eyes.
And once the wife is in, we wrap it up.
And by the way, when's the doctor make the payoff? Where?
We'll get the message to you.
Yeah, we'll tie a message to the gunbird's leg and fly it to you.
Are you the messenger boy?
Sort of, yeah.
What's the message?
You've got to go back to your husband.
Oh, you're real romantic. Mm-mm.
It's just for a night. Or a cup of coffee, that's all.
I have a feeling Doc's being taken good.
Well, there's a buck in it for everybody. 10,000 for you.
Well, if I do go back for a cup of coffee, would you buy me the second cup?
You want those dollars so bad you don't care who buys the coffee, huh?
Who's thinking about coffee?
The cemetery was picked as the payoff location. It was an appropriate spot for more reasons than one. The gunbird brought the doctor, and the doctor brought the $50,000. The private eyes waited with the doctor's wife. Did you bring the money, Doctor?
Yes.
We have a surprise for you, your wife.
Helen? She's here?
I'll get her. You wait here.
Well, Doctor, you just met the blackmailer.
He's the blackmailer?
Oh, there's nothing you can do. It's just a terrible shame that a guy like that can get away with it.
The doctor's wife couldn't wait to get her hot little hands on that 10 grand. Keeley and Stewart told her to stay with the doctor long enough to make it look good. A month, at least. But if I had her figured right, she'd run out on the doctor in a few days.
You'll know where to find me for that cup of coffee. Don't wait too long.
Slick, like sliding down a greased log.
Nothing much left to do but spend it.
Helen. Darling, are you all right? Oh, nothing to worry about now, darling. Come on, I'm taking you home.
I'll take my cut now.
What's your hurry? You're going to get what's coming to you.
Hey, wasn't I supposed to get something extra for knocking him off?
You sure were, Gunbird.
And then when we call the cops, we tell them we had to knock off the blackmailer in self-defense.
And you'll be lying cold with your gun in your hand.
Yeah, even Dr. Stevens will swear you're the blackmailer. Go ahead, Gunbird.
They didn't have to call the police. I've never been closer. I hope I never get that close again.
No idea I was under surveillance, Captain.
We know that, Doctor. We had it all planned. The bank was to inform us the moment you withdrew the mortgage money. We followed you with it to the cemetery.
It's hard to believe, but better to know. Helen, I just don't understand.
Well, honey, I could never explain it to you.
I'm sorry.
George, make up an extra set of these, will you? I want them for my mantelpiece.
So you move on, and you get lost again in the shadows, in that jungle, the underworld. And you live with the hoods, the parasites, the killers. You keep walking that tightrope. The tightrope that stretches between the underworld and the world of decency, between the evil